he was peeping my content.
He automatically stood out.
He knows my aesthetic.
He's interested in me more than just my face or my
Right.
body.
Have you ever kissed a girl?
Have you ever kissed a girl?
Have
I haven't really been on dates outside of the committed relationship I was already in.
Well, no kids, never married. Well, I have kids and I've been married.
And I'm still a bad bitch.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Rel. Today we have a few special guests in the house. Miss Raven Elise and Miss Sadie. So yeah, as y'all can see, we're definitely doing a seafood boil today. We had to get together to try B-Love sauce for the first time. Made a few mistakes.
Not mistakes.
Not mistakes.
Enhancements.
Gotcha.
Enhancements, yeah.
So today's video, we're really just gonna be sitting around having a good time eating. I asked you guys to ask me some questions. I believe Raven asked for some questions as well. So we're gonna be answering those. If you're interested, please stay tuned. We got a lot of fun playing for the video.
I asked my Instagram followers to ask us questions, just literally random questions, so I have no idea what this is about to be. Hopefully it's fun and interesting. Would you like me to start it off with the first question? Let's start with a nice little warm up. Somebody asked, how did the three of us meet?
You guys start, because they've known each other way longer.
That's a good one. I first formally met Raven in college years. She wasn't at UNT. I was. I started shooting with Adriana, and then I think we met at some type of gathering after that point. And then when I moved back home to Austin, she needed a photographer. We started doing that, getting some good content in, and yeah.
Yeah, so we're both from Austin, but didn't really know each other when we were, like, I think we knew of each other.
But not, we weren't talking like that. We didn't know each other like that.
It wasn't until, like, we were both at UNT, and then after that we started, like, actually hanging out.
Yes.
And then I met Sadie through a YouTube video.
Y'all know.
A YouTube video where I needed my, I needed some subscribers.
Oh, did it juice at you?
No, that was me.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the lemon.
Don't
My
get
concern,
the,
Grace, can it juice
don't
at
get
you?
the spicy B-Loves in your eye now.
It is spicy. I was just.
It's a perfect spice though, because it hits you with the sweet and then it's
You got the
spice.
paper towels right there?
Oh, yeah.
No, we got it. We're good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did a YouTube video where I needed to call on some of my followers to help me out with the video. She volunteered. Literally met her through that. Kicked it off immediately. And
We literally ordered the exact same food, exact same
We
life.
had a lot in common. Like right off the bat, we had a lot in common.
And then I met Rel at your birthday party.
And that was really not.
That's right.
Yeah, that was like.
Not that long
Yeah.
ago, and I was like, I love him.
Yeah. She's a Pisces. I'm a Cancer. Water sign.
Pisces, Cancer, Virgo. Pisces.
Are you drunk? What you mean?
There's no alcohol in that. Pisces, Cancers, and Virgos are all like in the same cluster of compatibility.
This first one is a topic. It says, any funny failed date stories that y'all are down to talk about?
Failed date.
Failed date.
Well,
Honestly, I don't even really go on that
I
many
was about to
dates.
say, I've barely been on a date. I haven't really been on dates outside of the committed relationship I was already in. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like first dates, I really haven't even done that.
I've had
Yeah.
a lot of bad ones.
Really?
Yes.
Tell
Okay,
us.
You gotta tell us.
A lot of mine involve asking me out, but not having the funds to provide for the date.
Oh.
Or like just being really creepy. So this one guy hits me up. Do you want to get but do you want to get food and go to eat? He said,
I was like, where is this going?
he said, do you want to eat and go to a movie?
Okay.
Dinner and a movie.
I don't know why that was so confusing at first.
And so I was like, yes. Now, mind you, to me, if someone else interested in you invite you to do something,
They're paying.
I take it as this is your treat. You invited me. You know what I
Right.
mean? I still had my own money, but so we get to the dinner. He didn't order anything. He just sat there and watched me eat the entire time. I was like, are you gonna order something? He's like, no, like you just eat. And he was just staring at me.
What?
And I'm like, okay. So I just got like appetizers and a couple drinks. He was like, I'll just get water. The check comes, and the waiter puts it on the table, and he's just like the guy's looking at me like, that's yours. So I took the check. I'm like, okay. And at that point, I should have just been like, all right, I'm going home. But I was like, we already said we were going to go to the movies. Like, I did just eat, so I was okay with it. We get to the movies. When we're in line, he has a duct tape wallet that he made.
Oh.
He shows me, he goes, look at how cool my wallet is. I made it. He whips out, it wasn't cool, it was raggedy, this duct tape wallet, and he goes, look, showing me there was nothing in it. There was nothing, no cards, no cash, no ID or nothing. I winded up paying for both of our movies.
What?
I was like, no, honey.
Was this an online?
No. Oh, yeah. We did meet on,
See,
we met on Tinder.
What did he look
damn,
like?
he was
He was,
scamming.
also his pictures, he never gonna see this. His pictures, he made it seem like he was tall. Honey.
Them lower angles.
He was tiny. Not that that's a bad thing, but it was just a lot of deception.
He was hype fishing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And also he was cash fishing because he couldn't afford our date.
Yeah, I definitely don't have any.
And I have a lot like that. I don't know why.
I just don't go on dates, but I'm sure if I did
Yeah,
go
I
on
haven't
dates,
in a long time. Can I
Yeah.
steal these?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You
if I did, I would have
stories.
probably some horrible stories, but I just don't. I have horrible stories of just like general
In general?
experiences.
Same.
Do you think it's okay to buy a guy a PS5, the new PS5, if y'all have only been together for 3 months?
No. What?
I would.
I mean, what do you mean by like, is it okay? Like that's
like,
your-
is she doing too much?
I think she might.
Is
be.
he-
That thing is like $500 something.
It kind of depends on
It
the
depends on
guy
what he
and the
doing.
situation, but I would say 3 months is not a long time to drop $500 on
Yeah,
somebody.
that's what I'm getting.
I
at.
wouldn't.
Because what's the occasion? Just because?
Right.
And also, does he
just
reciprocate
because?
that? You know what I mean? Like, is
I
he?
mean, also, are y'all both just balling like that, where that's not that big of a deal?
That's another factor.
Yeah. Like,
But
is that nothing for you?
For the
then?
average person, that's $500 just because.
On a game?
You better be doing something magnificent
Right.
Period.
in those 3 months to make that happen.
Yeah. So it's a no for me.
Yeah.
It's
No
gonna
for
be
me.
a no for me, dog.
A no for me.
Somebody said, would I let Rel and Sadie hook me up on a blind date?
You better say yes.
Well, hold on. Let's say this, because me and Raven have had
An occurrence
situations.
like this?
She's giving me some relationship advice, right? So I feel like I know her way of thinking. We may operate the same, and also I have a good eye. I think I might be able to pick out someone that she thinks is attractive, that she thinks is attractive.
Okay.
What about me?
Sadie,
I know your type,
you do know my, y'all
and I
both
know
know,
what you
my
need to
type.
stay away from.
Y'all both know me. Okay, look, I'll say this. They both know me. They know my type. I trust that part of it.
But looks wise, your looks are all different. So I wouldn't be
don't
able to
I don't really even
pinpoint.
have like a pinpoint type. But I think you would know if it wasn't the right thing.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Did
you get
But I
some
just
lobster
think
already?
I did.
Okay. Does anyone want to split this?
I cannot. How? It's so sharp.
You
Here,
need
let
to.
me
Yeah,
see
you
it.
have to use the shears. So you, Raven, you cut straight up the line like that.
I was trying to cut that, but it was
Oh.
too sharp to hold it. This is an extreme sport. Jesus.
Now
Mom, can you
just-
cut my crab?
Yes, honey, I got it.
I started cutting that part.
Oh, you already did?
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Why am I nervous? The lobster or the crab is a delicate meat.
I think it would just be more so like, what kind of men do y'all have access to? We kind of all have access to the same pool of people.
Right.
And they're not in our level.
Right. So I trust y'all, but it's just more so what's available in the first place.
That's
the
a very
problem.
good point.
Yeah, we gonna have to go to a different city.
Somebody asked, "Have you ever kissed a girl?"
Have you
Have
ever
you?
kissed a girl?
Wait, hold on. What?
Have we ever kissed a girl?
No, I was waiting for
That's
your
a general
answer.
question, but I feel like that's geared towards me.
Yeah, I was thinking it was geared towards
Okay.
you.
I mean, I shouldn't say of course. Yes, I
You
have. Yeah, I've had girlfriends. Like genuine. Not no like cover up, down low. Like
That's fair.
It was
Yeah.
a genuine connection.
Well,
I think
there's a-
that's very common in
Yeah.
all too.
Yeah, there's a stopping point to where, like, am I attracted to females? Yes, there was a stopping point where I was like, okay, cool, I like this. I'm not into that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. That's all. You know.
Not a big deal. Have you ever kissed a girl, Sadie?
No, I have not. But I wouldn't be like off limits with it. You know, I feel like it's just a kiss. I'm not like, no! You know what I mean? I'm not like, I think women are beautiful and stunning. Do I get the thing for them? No. But a kiss is like, I feel like that'd be fun. If I'm in Vegas and the mood is just right.
Why does she have this already fully planned out?
When we're in Vegas in May 2021, or actually March 10th for my birthday,
Really?
let's do it. Like Rihanna, oh yes, I would kiss.
Oh, for sure.
Rihanna,
That's true.
heck yeah. Megan Good.
Megan
Yep.
Good is a classic. That's a classic baddie.
What about you, Raven?
I have not either. I feel the same exact answer as you.
Yeah.
I haven't, but I mean, hey.
Hey.
I feel like I wonder if I think about it sometimes. Like, would I again? Like, what would that be like? And the answer comes out like y'all's would, like if it was like a drunken situation
Hey,
or
we're
an
in
attractive
Vegas
girl.
in March
Yeah.
2021.
Okay. For my birthday,
We might all be kissing girls.
Sadie, Raven, Ro.
The best way to approach or shoot my shot on social media.
Yeah. You answer that.
Why not?
Cause you got the following.
You talking about romantically?
Romantically, if a guy was trying to shoot his shot romantically.
Oh, this is coming from a guy?
If he was
Okay.
shooting a shot.
How could he shoot
So
it?
best way for a guy to shoot his shot on social media, I would say avoid generic compliments. If you slide into somebody's DMs or comments and just be like, you're beautiful, that's nice, not bad, but not eye-catching, not interesting. You're not gonna grasp my attention. Especially if you're hitting somebody up who you think might be getting hit up a lot.
Yeah.
Or they have a lot of followers, something like that, your message is just gonna get lost in the messages because it's just very generic. I would say if you can find a specific something to comment on, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. Let's say I posted something recently that had to do with, I was decorating my living room, and then you hit me up and was like, wow, it's so awesome. You really have like an eye for design. I think that's really cool. Like, I really like like something like that where it's like more specific and personal to me and shows me that you were paying attention to me and my content and stuff. Like that would make me feel special. Like, oh, so he was peeping my content.
He automatically stood out.
He knows my aesthetic.
He's interested in me more than just my face or my
Right.
body.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I think that really stands
huge.
out.
See, this is the answer we need to know.
Yeah. I feel like what I thought for you was like roasting you a little.
That too. Honestly, I didn't even think
I
about
feel like
that.
that's your humor.
That is my personal love language is like
Roaster.
Kinda childish.
Don't be rude, but just roast a little.
See,
kind of that bullying is kind of
Head
cute
ass.
to me. I'm not gonna lie.
I like that too.
I'll be sensitive. Well,
What you mean?
cause like.
No, I mean that's what you would say to them.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, see, like, exactly. Already.
He was like, don't question me.
I can't pick up a joke for anything.
No, I'm a big jokester.
Me too.
Look, honestly, actually, probably all of my relationships have started off that way.
When we first met, all we did was roast each other. Remember
Yeah.
I roasted myself? My dang jeans was.
And if I say something to you joking and you can't take a joke, you're off limits already.
As a man,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it took me
Well-
a minute to get used to. I mean, I
Sorry,
can
we
take
wouldn't
it.
be compatible.
I know, it can't just be sensitive. Because here's the thing, I'm going to have a whole explanation for you. I'm going to be like, well, the truth is that there's truth behind a joke. And it's, you know what I mean? And it's really not that deep. But I've learned a little bit. I got some friends who joke a lot, and I'm adapting.
I was just gonna say, I don't think my person is going to message me on Instagram. I think that something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
We're just gonna.
Bump into each other?
I go places ready just in
I
case.
want that to happen so
Or like
badly.
at the gas station, I look over, he makes eye contact, I give a little smirk.
We can even be out in public. Like, I feel like, especially with guys, there's been plenty of times to where, like, I've been in public and you can see, people, like, looking or whatever. Some people are, like,
Yes.
sent their friends over if it's, like, a club or something. But I wish, like, someone would be bold enough. But then I remember, like,
Yes.
my appearance, right? And I've been told before, like, you don't look like the most approachable person, which I think is just due to my size and stature. Because I'm nice. I'm like,
I think you have
right?
a really welcoming smile. Once you smile, it's like,
So I'm like, do I be looking at me sometimes, or
No.
they're just like, you like a 6'2", 230-pound man. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
What, they think you're gonna beat him up or
Yeah.
something?
I don't
Like,
know. It's just I don't
That's
know.
just 6'2" full of chocolate.
And the thing is, I like 6'2" for
You
never
like
mind.
the same.
Yeah, I don't want to say that though. That's discrimination.
Oh, this is a funny one. What's the, I don't know, hope it's funny. What's the biggest thing you got in trouble for as a child? Like the worst thing you ever got in trouble for?
Y'all can answer this one.
Oh wow,
I was bad.
I did quite a few things. I'm really trying to narrow
You
it down.
did, you were bad.
I just would get into some stuff, but I was a good kid overall. But okay, I don't know. If this is the worst thing, yeah, because I was a pretty good kid. I learned how to drive pretty early on, and one day, sorry, the spices in my throat. One day, for no reason at all, I was bored in the house. I was at my grandma's. I took her car keys and I just decided to drive around the block because I was allowed to do that every now and then.
How old were you?
I think like 12 or it was either it's between
12.
12. It was between 12 and 14. I think it was 12. They started me like really early. So I did the same routine, drove down the street, came back. This time I decided I wanted to learn how to parallel park. So
A little 12-year-old. Mm-hmm.
I mean, wait, not parallel. Park in the driveway in reverse.
Oh,
That's what I
okay.
meant. And because it was really just down the street and back. So I reversed the car and she had this, it's like this shed thing over the driveway, but the poles were like metal. And so I was reversing and I did not have the car straightened up. And I just remember like looking off to the side and as I'm going back, the rearview mirror just breaking the metal pole, just like crushing back.
Oh.
So that was embarrassing. I had to go inside, of course, tell her. My granny's so sweet though. She was like disappointed, but like she wasn't too upset. She doesn't really care about material things getting messed up like at all. But my mom wasn't happy. I definitely remember getting disciplined, and I definitely had to pay for it like out of my pocket. It was like around $400 some.
Where,
That's a lot as a 12-year-old.
Just from like saving, you know what I mean? When they give you money and like saving and stuff like that.
I didn't have no $400 when I was
Me either.
12.
My mom would make us like put money away and stuff. I just remember paying for it. I don't remember how the money got saved, but I remember it came from me. I think she had like her own saving accounts and stuff. So she was like, this is coming out of your account. So yeah, that answered that question.
Wow.
Sadie, you was a bad kid. You
I
bad little kid.
was a little troubled child. Okay, that's what we gonna say. I did everything.
What was something more just stupid and lighthearted that you did that you can remember?
Okay, stupid.
How about that?
Oh, I don't think that one was lighthearted. What I was about to. Well. Oh, okay. This is a lighthearted one. So this is actually this is something I feel like Malachi would do. So we used to have my parents. I don't know why they did this, but they kept all like the good snacks in a drawer next to their room, locked. Like the ho-hos, the Pop-Tarts, all that stuff, and they locked it in the closet. So one time, my brother told on me, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get him back. So I found the key. I went into the snack drawer, and I planted one of those little Christmas zebra cake things inside of his coat. And then I told my parents, I was like, he's taking the treats. I was like, I saw, look in his coat. Is that a lighthearted one?
Not an evil genius.
And they looked and he got in trouble.
She set you up. Hold on.
Well, he was telling on me all the time.
That's
so.
true.
But then I told them later. By later, I mean like a few years ago. So that's a lighthearted one. What about you?
I was such a little crybaby, weenie ass child that like, I was too scared to do anything wrong, I think. Like the one thing I can remember is I got in trouble one time because I don't know what possessed me to do this. I think it was either first grade or third grade. My teacher kept a bag of, my teacher kept a bag of like M&Ms or Skittles, like a big bag on her desk, and I think she was giving it out a few as like rewards throughout the day for certain things, but she kept it on her desk. So when we were all going out for recess, we would line up at the door. She's focused on getting the other kids lined up and going outside. I decided to stay back and snatch the whole bag of candy off her
The
desk.
whole bag?
I don't know what, because I was not that type of kid. I snatched a bag of candy. I guess I put it under my shirt or something, and then went and got mine. Go out to recess, get with my friends off in the corner of the field, and be like, "Look what I got! Y'all want some? Y'all want some?"
25 cents for a handful.
And I don't remember what happened, but got caught because we over there looking sneaky,
Right.
eating something. Teacher walks up like, "Excuse me."
Oh, I'm sorry.
And of course, I think my friends probably tattletaled on me. It was her. She brought it. So I got in trouble. And I think my teacher was just so disappointed in me because I was such a
Good kid.
yeah, such a
I've
good
had that
kid. Never
happen.
did stuff like that. She was just like,
Not my
Raven.
Yeah, like
Why would you
no
do that? Told my parents and everything.
So this one is a situation, I guess, that they want our advice on. You have a messy friend, a messy manipulative friend. Do you distance yourself or take time out to have a discussion that you no longer associate with them?
She said, "Do you do?" What was the first option?
So, a messy
Distance
friend
yourself or take the time out to have a discussion with them about it.
that you no longer F with them, though.
So it's basically like, are you just gonna ghost them or are you gonna talk about it?
Talk to them about it.
To be quite frank, if I'm being like truly honest of my personal experience, I do tend to kind of just, I wouldn't say ghost people, but like, yeah, distance myself. Like, if I'm like, I don't want any parts of that, I kind of just slide my way out, you know, slyly, like just kind of fall back, like less and less talking, and then just kind of let it fade out.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like the manipulative is kind of what throws me off. I think I like closure. So, and I also give people way too many chances. So I feel like I would be like, I don't like that you're doing this, this, and this. If you keep doing it, we're not gonna be friends. I don't think that's the best thing to do. Like it depends on what are they doing to be manipulative.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when someone is being manipulative, you have to distance yourself for your own mental health.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of depends on for me, I don't know. What do you think?
I think for me, I personally don't like direct confrontation, but I will do feel like it's necessary. So I think it's a mixture of both. I think initially I will distance myself because I'm trying to think about how I'm going to handle the situation, especially if it's someone that I really care about. You know what I mean? And then when it comes to the confrontation part of it, that's when it's us having a discussion like, hey, like this is what the deal is. This makes me feel this way. But I feel like as I've gotten older, I've done a really good job of weeding out those type of people anyway. So if you can distance yourself and you guys weren't even that close or it's not that significant, you know.
It kind of, it depends on the severity of the
friendship.
situation and like how close you are to that person. Like, is it a big deal for you to just distance and nothing? Or is it like, hey, you keep doing something, you keep like, because it also kind of depends on how they react to you distancing yourself.
That's
Are
also
they the
true.
type to be like, you know, keep trying to like press it? Then you kind of have to have that confrontation. Like, okay, look, I've been distancing myself because X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
And maybe
kind of
it's something
explain.
that whatever they're doing, they could fix.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know what I mean? If you haven't told them, they don't know what they don't know, like, to fix. You know what I mean?
That's true.
But if it's just how they are as a person, then
This is an interesting question. Not juicy, but they said if you could rename yourself, what would you name yourself?
that's a good one.
I like my name. I don't think I would rename myself.
Well, I don't know.
I don't think I would. My full name is Tarell. You guys have seen me talk about this a million
like
times.
that.
But it's just hard for people to say because it's the emphasis on the first part of it.
People say Terrell.
Yes, and like as a child, I used to get like in trouble for like letting people say that. But it just, who wants to correct someone on your name 24/7? But yeah, I really would. I like my name and I always have. Rel is just easier to go by and it's easier to introduce myself with that. But yeah, I ain't changing it.
My real name is actually Shatara. I don't think I would change it. I've never met another Shatara.
I have.
Really?
In like school before.
Really?
Like one.
Yeah, I don't think I would change it. I feel like, yeah, I wouldn't change it. I go by Mercedes or Sadie a lot because that's my middle, but yeah, I wouldn't.
Okay, this is funny. What were you all like in high school?
Oh no. Did we have to talk about that?
I was a class clown.
I can see that.
I wasn't a trouble though.
Loud.
My trouble, yes, in detention. Well, I not like for bad things, but just for like being
Talking too
disruptive.
much.
Yes. Middle school and elementary bad. High school I was like more put together. I really actually loved learning, but I talked. I messed around, joked with the teachers.
You're just very bubbly and outgoing, so I can see how you're
We
not
get
gonna
in
sit
trouble.
there
cracking
and be
jokes
quiet. You're
every
gonna be
time.
talking to everyone, talking to the teachers, trying to be
Right.
buddy with the teachers.
Right, I can see that too.
Yes, I can see
Yeah.
that. I was the complete opposite.
Really?
Quiet, shy, wasn't no type of social butterfly, wasn't no type of athlete, no type of nothing. And I really like the thing that people always like pointed out to me about me is they would be like, they would basically say like, you hang out with the weirdest mix of people.
Really?
Because like, you know, and this is no shade on any specific type of person, but like, you know how you would have different cliques in high school. Sometimes hanging out with the weird gothic kids, sometimes hanging out with, a lot of my friends were the Hispanic clique, because a lot of my friends were literally like, Spanish was their first language from Mexico and stuff like that, came here in middle school. And I don't know why I really felt very comfortable in that clique. I think it had something to do with like my school was definitely very white, but then there was like that group of like Hispanic people, and then there was like a small amount of black people, like not evenly dispersed at all, but like there was kind of a mix of everybody. But I don't know, for some reason I really gravitated towards the Hispanic clique or whatever. So people would be like, are you Latina? Like, do you speak Spanish? Like, why do you hang out with them? Why do you hang out with these people? You're not this, you're not that. Like, I guess because I hung out with people who didn't look like me, who didn't dress like me.
so
People thought that
weird.
was
So
like
like,
really
what's your
weird.
association with this?
Yeah.
We need to know
Yeah.
why.
Like, it's like they couldn't
Grasp it.
define me because it's like in high school, I feel like you're very defined by like who you hang out with,
Yeah.
and people kind of label you based on your clique. But I hung out with such a weird grouping of people
They
that
couldn't
people would be like,
define you?
what kind of person are you? Like, who are you? What are you all
Right.
about? That's how I felt like people saw me. And also I was very like shy, so it was like they had nothing to go off of other than
Who you were around.
yeah. And then I did get, once I started getting into social media, I did get made fun of for that. So I was kind of like the weird.
Really?
I was the weird internet girl who
See,
made
but
videos.
it's so funny how it's perceived by everybody, because I literally would, I don't know if you were on Tumblr, but I would log on Tumblr like, this girl done
Oh,
put
I
on
used
this
to love
outfit. I was
Tumblr.
like, really?
I like Tumblr.
Okay. Some people would be like, what the heck is that?
No.
Yeah,
Tumblr-
Tumblr, all
Tumblr
the
was
pictures.
my-
It was kind of like Pinterest.
I
back
literally
then.
remember seeing like Raymond's outfits, like DIY.
But I think what
everything. It
the
would be,
problem
like,
was, admittedly, like I could see from the outside looking in. The
Uh-huh.
problem is, you see me at school and I'm like this
Oh, okay.
with the weird kids, and then you get on Tumblr and it's like. I'm on Tumblr like this, you know, whatever. And
That's
people would
just
just be
your
like,
thing.
I think people were kind of like, you're not, you know what I mean? Like, kind of like, you're not even like that in real life, kind of thing.
When it's just like, just because I'm not like that around everybody and they mama, don't mean I'm not
Yeah.
at
Oh.
home.
So for me, I was very social. I think high school was definitely me finding myself still. But like I got nominated for like homecoming court. They gave me the most likely to be famous, like awards and stuff like that. I talked to everybody. So yeah, definitely relate to you like with being with different crowds of people. Yeah, I don't know. It would be interesting to find out that answer from somebody else. It was a lot of like interrogation in high school.
People
Like,
interrogated you?
yeah, like, and I didn't talk
Really?
to a lot of people. Like, yeah, even with, I guess, like for being gay, that was probably that was like the main thing. So, like with straight guys, like they would be like, "Oh, you're really cool, but you have this reputation of like, or you're somewhat feminine or whatever." So that would be like a barrier. But then they get to know and be like, "Oh, he's cool," you know. So it was like that type of approval. Girls love me. I was still dating girls at the time too, so there was like a weird situation with that, like oh, does he really? You know, everyone has that question, so there was that. And then it's weird, like with being social and being gay, like and friends with everyone. Somehow I feel like it's easy to get like a reputation for being messy. So
Yeah, that's a
Really?
stereotype. Like
It
the gay
is.
guys are messy.
yeah.
I haven't heard that.
There was a few incidences to where I remember something got blamed on me. I literally had no idea about it. It actually happened with one of my best friends, and like we actually stopped talking for like a few weeks because of it. But like somebody had a girlfriend, the girlfriend was cheating on somebody, and I was friends with the guy. So they were like, "Oh well, he found out and he's close to them, so it has to be you."
They
And I was
thought you
like-
were the one cheating?
Yeah, and by them saying that was how I found out. So I was like, how did, you know what I mean? It was just a situation. So just like small increments of that. But I mean, I don't know. It wasn't bad. High school was cool. I didn't have like a hard time. I don't feel like I got bullied. I feel like all that happened early on in like middle school, honestly. And then, you know, at a certain point, you just like, you don't mess with me. You stand up for yourself. So that happened very early on because I was raised that way too. But high school was cool. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like with my high school, I went to a tiny, small private school. So there weren't really like any cliques. You know what I mean? Like we all just kind of, like our class was tiny. So I feel like we all kind of knew each other. So I feel like I didn't really get that high school experience. You know what I mean?
Because it was so small.
Yeah.
I went to private school for my whole life up until high school. So I think that's
I
part of the
went to charter
reason
school.
why I was like, I'm not going to be in a
Yeah.
clique. I'm going to talk
Do
to
what I want.
like, yeah, I don't know, because I was so used to being in like a more diverse, small private school
Yeah.
where everything was all mixed and it wasn't really cliquey like that. So I guess I didn't know how to work the clique scene because I didn't ever
It's
Yeah,
too
because you
much.
hadn't come from it.
Too much.
What?
Some of these questions, it's just like somebody asked directly to Rel. This is not.
Well.
I'm probably not going to put this in, but they're like, "Do you honestly believe that you please your woman when you have sex with her?" Not.
What
Quite.
woman?
Even if they thought like you were pleasing a woman, why would someone ask that? That's weird.
Okay, top 3 annoying traits that you see in other people. Or I guess it's kind of like your top 3 pet peeves in other people.
Like in men or just anybody?
It just says other people.
I don't like when somebody is like blatantly lying. Like, you ever been around someone who's like telling a story and it's just so extravagant?
Yes, lying for no reason.
Yes, I can't stand that because there's really no reason to do that. That's one of mine.
And then Trey Songz came in and Chris Brown. Chris Brown's cousin is
Fake
my uncle
flexing.
though.
Yeah.
Yes.
More specifically fake
I
flexing
hate
and like
fake flexing.
exaggerating stuff, and it's like I already know that's not even how it went. That's not true. You do
Right.
not like. I hate that.
One thing that I hate is when people, if Rel is telling me, like, oh, you know, I'm so happy I got XYZ, you know what I mean? And then someone else is like, oh yeah, when I got XYZ, you know what I mean? Like not letting you have your moment,
shine.
not letting you have your accomplishment and like bringing you back to their accomplishment. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, I
don't
feel
like
that.
Kind of like cutting in
Yeah.
and putting the spotlight on
Like,
themselves.
oh, that's cool, but when you know what I
Or
mean?
I done that too, and in my yeah.
Or belittling your thing. Like, oh yeah, I went there. It was
Yeah.
cool. You know what I mean? I don't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta let people have their shine no matter what it is. If they're
Yeah.
excited about it, like stop and be excited with them.
Right.
I don't like it when people are like more specifically men, like men who have tried to, well, I'm single, no kids, never married. What man you know that's single, no kids, never married? A lot. That's not, I don't like it when guys try to make that I should be able to spit game because I'm single, no kids, and
The
never
bar
married.
is on the floor. The
Yeah,
bare
like
minimum.
okay,
Yeah,
and
Let's talk
I know a
about
lot of
everything
people.
else.
Yeah, just I think
Yes.
in general, I would say a big pet peeve of mine is trying to act like you're doing something because you're doing the bare minimum, or you're
Be
just doing what
there.
you're supposed to do.
Or belittling me as a mother, like when people are like, well, no kids, never married. Well, I have kids and I've been married.
And I'm
so-
still a bad bitch.
Yes. It's like, okay. I hate that.
Don't
Men
play
do that
that.
all the time. I
Yeah.
do not like that. That'll get you done for.
Do you feel social media has a negative impact on relationships and dating?
Yep.
I think
Period.
it does.
I know people who, it's more rare nowadays, but I do know people who like literally don't use social media. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like they're really not even on social media. They don't use it like that. Maybe
Yeah.
one person in the relationship kind of uses it. The other person really doesn't use it at all. So therefore it becomes not really a factor in their relationship and they don't really struggle with all that. But if you are on social media, if you do use it like most of us do nowadays, there's lots of ways that it can cause problems in a
Yeah.
relationship. It is what it is. It should be avoidable and it can be avoidable. But at the same time, like I feel
Too
like
often
it's
it's
always
not.
going to be.
A factor.
It could always be an issue. I guess.
One thing I don't like about social media and relationships is I feel like, so like if a man is scrolling on social media Like, yes, there are plenty of beautiful women in the world, but like, you feeling like you have all these options. Like, if you go to HEB, you're not gonna run into all these models. You know what I mean? I feel like social media just makes it like
I do.
everything's right in front of you.
Okay, going back to
you
the
know?
pet peeves, it kind of makes me think like, okay, if you're constantly liking all these IG baddies pictures, you think, oh, I got all these options. Oh, I'm just gonna explore. Be like that on social media. It makes me want to say, okay, DM her then.
Right.
Shoot your shot then. Go
Wow.
ahead. Go
When you
ahead.
see his name under every girl's picture,
It's like
just
you're embarrassing
you for
yourself.
streets.
You're embarrassing yourself because, like I said, go ahead, DM her. See what happens. You think she gonna answer you? You think she gonna want the time of day from you? 9 times out of 10, if it's some IG baddie with 2 million followers, or it's Rihanna, or it's whoever, like, it's just pointless
shot.
because if you feel like that's a viable option, okay, go for it. If not, then why are you doing that? That's a pet peeve of mine. What's your favorite thing to eat on Thanksgiving?
Well, Sadie ate the whole thing.
Yeah.
Food, so what's your favorite thing to eat?
You said, oh.
Sadie's
throw
favorite
shade.
thing is to eat all the food the night before.
Don't throw shade.
Like, what
I was
is
troubled. My favorite, I don't know. My favorite thing is the mixture of all the things. Like the mashed potatoes leaking into the stuffing with the gravy, and then you got the turkey. A little bit of the cranberry done dipped into it. It's not one item.
It's clearly Sadie likes to eat. She do like to eat.
I do like the sweet potato casserole.
My favorite thing was always the mac and cheese, especially like the good baked mac and cheese with the good top
and
to
I didn't
it.
grow up on that, but it is good.
My mom makes a really good mac and cheese,
Oh.
but now
I know I'm coming to get a plate.
I'm very dairy intolerant.
Oh yeah.
And I get sick afterwards, but low key, I still be eating it. Like Thanksgiving is like, okay, I just have to mentally prepare myself.
What's about to
Mentally
happen.
prepare myself. I know I'm about to eat this mac and cheese, and I know I'm about to regret it, but it's
Right.
worth it. Oh, somebody wants us to
like
do
that
a
one.
round of truth or drink. The question is, so one person said do truth or drink. I'm taking the question from another person who said, at what age did you lose your virginity?
That's easy.
Yeah.
16.
Me too.
Oh, it's twin.
It was my junior year.
Yeah, that was my junior year of high
My
school.
junior year.
I would have held out longer. I was so
I
prideful.
should have held out longer.
I was gonna say 18, but actually I was 17.
That's
So around the same
year.
time?
Yeah, literally.
High school?
But
Yeah.
that was my senior year because
So-
I was, where my birthday was.
Well,
But
hold
yeah.
on. Was that my?
Mine was my junior.
Because I'm in July. I graduated when I was 17. Okay, that's probably right. Yeah, that
I'm
wasn't
drinking
that
anyway. 'cause I'm
bad.
just drinking.
Right. Do you believe I think what they meant was being monogamous is something humans made up?
Wait, what?
Something humans made up. I've had this whole thesis statement
Get into it.
conversation. I do not believe that monogamy is natural for our species. I feel like our species, if you think about it from a biological standpoint, like why do men produce so much and continue into their older age? A man can fertilize hundreds of kids if he wants to.
Yeah.
Why would he be built that way if he was just going to be with one woman and have a couple kids?
Yeah.
From a science standpoint. Because if you look at other animals that are like that, they're like that because they go and they
Just have a
make
little
bunch of
fun.
Yeah.
And we mammals.
That's true.
And then you start seeing the way that men's be acting like they want to
They be acting
utilize it.
polygamous. Is that what it is?
Dog.
Yeah,
Okay. I was
yeah.
making sure I said it right.
Yeah, polygamy.
But
I was
the
gonna say
thing, but the
polygamous.
twist is, I feel like it's not an equal thing between the man and the woman. I feel like the woman, and then also too from a science standpoint, a woman can only get pregnant
Once a
however
year,
many times
basically.
and up to a certain age, which is much younger than the man.
I never thought about it like
So
that.
a woman is more so like, okay, maybe I'll just have the one man, maybe one or two, I don't know, 3 max. Have a couple of kids, and then I'm done. Like I physically can't. But the man he could do a lot more. So I think
Yeah.
that's technically how it would go. It's like the man, he's just going off doing his thing. The woman kind of does her thing, and it's more short lived, and then she just kind of out of luck.
My dad does have like 9 or 10 of us.
And you start to see that play out in real life sometimes.
Yeah.
And people get all up in arms like that is just so messed up. But it's like low key, I think it's something programmed into our genes,
science.
our DNA that makes that happen sometimes. That's my theory.
Yeah, I never thought about it from that scientific theory. I guess I always thought of it like from a biblical perspective, but I never thought about it like the science of it, you know?
Yeah. Okay, this is just a random one. Would you rather? Would you rather have to go to sleep for 10 years and miss everything that happened in those 10 years, but you wake up to $10 million, boom, deposited into your account?
Oh.
Or another way to get the $10 million is to cut off your mom's leg.
I just wouldn't take the 10
Why
mil.
would they do this?
I would just be fine without it. I don't want any of
Done with
those.
the money?
I don't want to wake up 38.
Yeah, honestly, I don't need $10 million that bad to do either one of those
At
things.
all. I can be and got the $10 million and I die the next day. Who did $10 million go to? What was it worth?
Yeah,
Nothing.
none
I'm
of
not
those
taking
two
it.
things are worth $10 million.
I ain't gonna do you like that, mama.
Would you rather mistakenly send nudes to your boss or to your own mother?
My boss is lit.
My boss.
My boss is
Well,
lit.
here's the funny thing.
He would be like,
Anybody
okay.
who would be considered my boss would be my mom.
My mom.
Yeah,
mhm.
that's
So I
true.
don't have
Your
a boss.
mom.
Like, who would my boss be?
My boss would be like, ow.
Yeah.
Or like
My
my
boss said
manager,
he's
Brianna.
amazing.
Which Brianna, she'd be cool. I could be like, oh, sorry, girl. She'd be like, oh, that's awkward, but okay. Would you rather have bad breath all the time or bad body odor all the time? You
Breath.
gotta pick one.
At least it's concentrated. You can.
Yeah.
But
I
if
would
you're just
pick breath,
stinking
I think.
everywhere you go.
Yeah, because body odor kind of
It's
creates
different.
If you walk next to
aura
someone
around
with the
you.
odor, it's like
You
it
can
hits
close
you.
your mouth.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't close your whole body.
Everyone knows me. I'm like paranoid over breath. I feel like we always have this conversation.
Over body breath. I mean,
Breath in general. Like, no. Like, girl,
I was just smelling.
no.
Is that
I'd be
what
like
We
this
all
all the
will
time.
be kicking. I'm sorry.
Right. No, I would definitely choose bad breath.
Me too. You
Yeah.
always smell so good.
I'll be trying.
I walk next to
That's
you and I'm
like
like,
his thing.
I wish other like men
and let me.
did
Have I
that.
ever told you why though? There was one time where I went to visit a friend, and I noticed that their boyfriend at the time was offering me gum a little bit more than normal.
Oh no.
And this was during college too, and like I hadn't been to the dentist in like a minute, and man, I was like, wait a minute, I wonder if he was trying to say something because he never really said anything. I wonder if that was a polite way. And sure enough, I went to the dentist and like I needed a fill. I had like a cavity or something like that. I was like, my breath was probably hot, and he was just being really formal. But yeah, long story short.
Now you're paranoid because you thought your breath was kicking real bad that day.
Well, yeah, it's it makes you think, but I've also talked with people too. I feel like we don't normalize conversations like that how we should.
Yeah, we talked
like
about
it's so
this.
awkward, right?
Yeah,
And it shouldn't
I'm
be
really
like
bad
that.
at. I will admit I'm the one who I might notice something and I'm just
And it's
thinking in my
hard to
head
bring
like
it
I
up.
know I need to tell them, but what?
You don't know how. I'm the same way, and I may offer the gun.
It's just I never want
It's
to like
awkward.
embarrass somebody.
You don't want to embarrass somebody. You want to hurt feelings, but there are certain situations to where it's like kind of a necessity. Like I worked with someone who's super sweet person, right? And I don't know if she, been and got a checkup in a long time, but it literally, like it was like it will bring up through. And we at that job that I had at the time, we talked to people all day. So it's just things like that. So I don't know. I may start a campaign to normalize.
Normalize telling people that they breath stank,
It's hot.
okay, or that they got body odor.
But we got masks now, so we should be
Yeah.
knowing something.
You could smell your own.
Scientifically, scientifically, it's supposed to be hard, like in that, like this. Like I would have to like do this, but with masks, you should be regurgitating. You should hit that.
Okay, random. I'm gonna try to do rapid fire.
Okay.
Do you send your food back when it's not right, or do you just eat it?
I see. Oh, go ahead.
Send it back, eat it.
Eat it most of the time.
Send it back, or
Send
eat
it back.
I feel like I eat it, honestly. Which one's better, baby shower meatballs or funeral fried chicken?
Baby shark meatballs.
Meatballs.
Meatballs. Who do you like more, influencers or real celebrities?
Influencers.
Influencers.
Influencers. Dream vacation location.
Bali.
Greece.
Greece. I was gonna
Oh
say
my
Greece.
god, that's
We were
mine.
supposed to go this year.
That's the first one. It
know.
says it's rapid fire. I was supposed to go this year too.
Why is Rail so damn fine? Again.
It's the smile for me.
Shout out to the braces.
The smile, the hair, the beard, everything. Could you see yourself living anywhere else but Austin? Yes or no?
Well, I just do that kind
You're
of
good.
Would you
No.
move out of Austin? No. Would you move out of Austin?
Yes.
Would you move out of Austin? No, probably not.
Yeah. I wish we could explain, but it's rapid fire.
I don't know where, but I'm not stuck. I have to be here.
Yeah, you're a Pisces. Y'all ain't no. Y'all
We
are
go
dreamers.
fishing. We
Exactly. Y'all love to be somewhere.
Ready for it.
Oh, I have a good one. What's one thing that you got surprised of the person that surprised you about that person? Or no? That's
I
kinda-
didn't know that you were. I would have never guessed based off of the way that you carry. Might be a little too personal and deep, but based off the way
No,
that
it's
you
okay.
carry yourself and everything, I would have never known. Like then, once you told me your childhood and your life story, I would have never known that was
Really?
your
No.
background.
We gonna
Would have
talk.
never known that.
Really? I feel like I've gotten that before. That makes sense.
Well, I wouldn't say. I don't know if surprised is the right word, but I definitely was not like when I what am I trying to say? Before it was 100% verified to me, I was not sure of your sexual orientation.
Yeah, I get that often. It's so funny because like you go through like being a kid, and since you're like a little bit feminine, it's like automatically associated with that. You know, everyone just kind of knows. And then like I've never made a conscious effort to change like my mannerisms or ways ever.
But you shouldn't.
And so I don't know if it's just like growing older and like being more self-aware if things adjusted or whatever the case has been. But yeah, I don't know. I've gotten that like more so in my adult life. But if you ask me from high school, you compare me to like, you know, the star football player, they'd be like, oh hell yeah, we knew from the jump.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about being like
Compared to
hyper
that.
masculine and stuff like that, but I
Yeah.
guess me the way I try not to judge people like that. I guess
Right.
too, like
Because there are
pinpoint.
some feminine straight men.
right,
Yeah,
like
one of
just,
my
yeah.
best friends from high school, he was very feminine, but also very straight. You know?
Yeah.
So I never like pinpoint.
look at this. This is my
Yes.
best.
I just want to slap it.
Okay, be love. Look,
But hold on, I gotta get it close. I gotta get y'all as big as my
Wow, we love a thick cracker.
full thick meat right there.
I like the way you jiggle.
Yeah.
well, I don't know if it's weird because I don't know how you would put this on someone or perceive that. But when Sadie told me she was adopted, I was just like, oh, like you know,
When did I tell you?
I can't remember. I feel like it.
Oh,
maybe,
I think it was at her birthday.
I think it was at one of the parties or gatherings or something like that. Yeah, but I just wouldn't have expected it. I mean, not. But it's like, what do you expect an adopted
Yeah.
person to be like? You know.
What does an adopted person look like?
Yeah, like what is that? Yeah, but no, yeah. So that, Raven. Ooh, what was a surprise? Let me think.
That was so creepy. They're all greasy, sorry.
I have one for both of y'all while you think around.
I think for Raven, I didn't expect Raven to be as goofy as she can be. Like when you think of someone who plans stuff out and stuff, but like, and you know, she's pretty and whatever else, but it's like she goofy. Like if I was a straight
I'd be acting a
dude,
fool.
if I was a straight dude, I'd be like, oh yeah, she cool. She, you know, she bad or whatever, but she like one of the homies because she has that personality. You know.
I completely agree. So for Raven, I would say like how goofy and silly we can be. Because you be making it seem like you just so awkward, and you are not awkward. I don't know if it's just because I'm like, and we just mesh, but I'm like, oh, she cool as hell.
I
we
do
can
get
joke,
that a
we
lot.
can, like, you know what I mean?
I think because like initially sometimes I do still have like because like I said I was a shy kid, definitely shy, introverted, full out. As I grew up, like I'm not as like straight up shy anymore, but I think I'm still a little bit like that. Like like I said before, like just not good at just immediately going up to someone and talking and just being open and loud and blah blah blah. So I think when people first meet me, they're not getting much out of me.
Yeah.
Period.
Got you.
And then once I start feeling comfortable and I start opening up, my real personality just starts coming out. Then people are like, wait, I didn't know that you were like that.
Right. I feel that.
Because I just have trouble like letting it out off the bat.
And I think one thing that surprised me about you, Rel, was you being from Austin. I don't know why, like you just, you New York, or I thought you were maybe Panamanian. I don't know.
That's really funny.
I thought you were not from here.
That
You
is-
do have an exotic
You look
Look.
Panamanian.
thing about you.
So my dad is my grandmother. I'll show y'all. Full Hispanic, like Spaniard
Okay.
though. So that's his mom. My mom's mom. You know, everyone's like black and Indian and stuff. They're from the country. My grandma is the youngest of 14 kids, so we don't really
Wow.
know exactly what's what.
Indian, like India
Like
or Native
Cherokee,
American? Oh,
Native
Oh,
American.
yeah.
Oh, let me correct myself because y'all will drag. Native American. So yeah, and I have a picture of my great grandmother, and she looks it, but we don't know exactly what's what. And then my grandma's on that same side. Her dad. All we know is that he got a pass for like a white man in their town. Very segregated. He was super like complexion, had like grayish blue eyes.
white passing at least.
Yeah, you
if
know.
not
So
white.
we don't really know. Ancestry tests are there, but like I don't know what they be doing with your DNA information and stuff. I done heard some weird
I'll
stuff.
tell you, I did mine because
heard
my
some
family was so
conspiracies.
sure. My family was so sure that we were Native American.
Oh, for real?
Like a good amount of Native American, had all these stories and stuff. And then we did the DNA test, and it was like
Nope.
0.0.33333%
They're like,
Native
actually-
American, and just a whole bunch of white.
That's hilarious.
So there's a lot of black people who think like that's a thing. A lot of black people who think that they're Native American
Yeah.
because ex grandma looks a certain way.
Yeah.
She looks like that because she's biracial.
Right.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Because I can't tell you my entire life I've gotten mistaken for like East African or like a really dark Spanish, but
Or like even Ethiopian.
people come to you all the
Dominican?
time. They're
Yes.
like, "Are you Ethiopian? Are you?" I literally, when I was working at H&M, a lady came up to me and she started speaking the language, and it took me a minute to process. She had her son with her, and the little boy looks. I kid you not, looks like my baby picture. It's like different features, obviously,
Yeah.
but he resembled me. And she started speaking the language, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't understand." And she was like taken aback, almost offended. So I'm like, okay, you know, whatever. I get back to doing my job. She comes back later. She's like, "I'm so sorry. I just have to ask you, like, are you ashamed of like the culture?" And I'm like, "No, lady. Like, I literally am not. I'm nothing related to. I just look like this. You know what I mean?" So
Yeah.
I get it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
People never know what I am.
Yeah.
Biracial. That's my
Yeah,
my
that's what I would
assumption,
guess,
but
too.
she's some type of
Yeah.
biracial
But you have
something.
this beautiful tan. It's like, I don't know. It kind of reminds me because you guys know who Tori Kelly is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
You
love
can't really
Tori
like.
Kelly.
She's mixed with a bunch of stuff too, so it gives
She
me that
is?
vibe.
Yeah.
Oh,
My
yeah,
dad
she's a
is
lot of
all
different-
black.
She's like black, white, Native American.
Tori Kelly is mixed.
Yeah, you thought she
she's
was
black
white?
and
Yes, I thought she was just
Uh-uh.
white with curly hair.
Oh,
But I
no.
never really like looked at her that close.
Mhm.
I guess.
No, yeah, she got some things in
Now I
there.
gotta Google Tori Kelly.
But I have a
because-
lot
Yeah.
of people who are like, who don't even think that I'm black or
Really?
know it. Yeah. This guy, he messaged me that I was talking to. He was like, "Black?" Question mark. I was like, "Yes, my dad." He was like, "I don't believe you." He was like, "Which one of your is it your mom or dad that's black?"
See, I hate
I'm
that.
like, first of all, just
The
because I have
quiz.
like the thing that throws people off is my eye color, but I'm the only one in my family with my eye color. Everyone
Mm-hmm.
else brown, beautiful brown, everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And he's like, "Well, you don't look black," and I'm like, there's no look black. You know what I mean?
First
like,
of all, oh,
that's not even an ethnicity.
Yeah, now I see. I guess I just never really looked at her that close.
Does it say her? Does it list them off?
What is Tori Kelly mixed with?
But I definitely want to do, because I'm adopted, like, I know a good amount. I know what my mom and dad are, but what are they really?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's the realty?
I know my daddy's black, and he said he's Native American, but
She said it says Jamaican, Puerto Rican, Irish,
That too.
Told you,
German,
she's a
I feel like everyone's just a big, what's that thing called?
melting pot.
melting pot.
Yes. I'm happy you knew what I was
Are you good?
I thought I was going to struggle for a minute trying to think of what I was thinking, and then you just got it.
Yes.
Are you single?
Yes.
Are you single?
Yes.
Are you single? Yes.
We all single. Am I ready to mingle?
Who's gonna change it? No, I'm playing.
Hit me up.
Please don't hit me up. I'm just kidding. If you want to.
How old how old did you think you were going to be / do you think you're going to be when you have kids? How old do you think you're going to be when you have kids / I guess do you want kids?
If I have kids, it'll be probably around 35.
That's what you would hope. Well, for you it's more calculated anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky.
It's investment.
How old did you think you were going to be when you had your first kid?
I had Malachi when I was 24. When I was thinking about, when I have kids, I was thinking 24 or 25. But when I was 24, I'm like, I'm way too young. Like when you're actually in it, I was like, what was I thinking? Now, like, I wouldn't have changed the timing, but like, I feel like when I was younger, I thought like 24 and 25 was like way older than it actually is.
That's true.
It's changed.
I always wanted to have kids, and I wanted to have kids young, specifically. So I don't know. It's like, as soon as I graduate college, like whatever, like I could be 22, 20, and which I did have Zion when I was 22. But same thing, like you said, like once you're there, you're like, wait, no, not yet, not yet. Like you realize, like, wait, I'm still young. But then it was like, what? Too late.
Yeah.
Which, you know, and I wouldn't change it. Like you said, it ended up working out for the best. So, yeah, I had kids when I wanted to, but then at the last minute, I was like, wait, never mind. Yeah. Then it's too late. We already said what our zodiac signs are.
I mean, slash.
Would you rather have a baby right now or have to go through, relive 2020 over again?
2020.
2020 wasn't too bad of a year for me. I'm gonna say 2020.
No more babies.
I have a baby right now. Honestly.
Give us our little brother, sister.
I could do that.
Are you single? Wait a minute.
Am I
Yes,
single?
she's single,
What does that
single.
mean? Yes, I'm single.
They said, forget the generic answer. What's really going on?
Would you rather swallow glass
Oh my
or
gosh.
call your ex and tell them you want them back?
Swallow glass.
How much glass?
A decent
Am I gonna
amount.
die?
I would call my ex.
No.
He know that it's like, he'd be like, what?
Oh. But that's not like if you feel
On for
because if you feel like you can call him and say that, I'm like, oh, how nice.
I was like,
I'm like,
No, I would have to swallow some glass. I
okay.
think, as long as I don't die.
Okay. Can you please show people how she left me hanging?
no, it's gonna be all over the video.
I didn't see you.
Yeah, we gonna be over here swallowing the glass.
Are you able to have platonic? Well, this is interesting for you.
Oh, it's always the game there.
Come on.
Because, you know, the whole thing about like guys and girls can't just be platonic friends.
Yeah.
How does that work
For guys?
for you?
It can be difficult at times. Let me say this: when I was younger, like still figuring myself out too, with some of the straight friends I had, this is gonna backfire in my face. When I was like in middle school, it wasn't as much like this, but like in high school, like I discovered that like, oh, there are a bunch of guys who are interested in guys who like aren't saying it, and then two, you can't tell that there's nothing feminine about them, right? So for a while, I was like, who, like, why? Hold on, like, why is everyone like so friendly with me or whatever? So I was kind of trying to figure out who those guys were.
Like you would notice the tension.
I
y'all?
would like look for it, and then with some of them, I would like, this sounds so bad, but I'm gonna say it. I would like test them. Like I would like be a little flirtatious just to see, like, you know, with very few though, because you can imagine how that can go sour quickly. But yeah, like other than that, my best friend Daniel is like, I don't know if y'all seen him posting before. He's like beautiful, and everybody automatically thinks that we're dating.
Is that the one you went live with?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is beautiful. I was like, okay, Rail.
Everyone, even
Is
like
he straight?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, he's definitely the way I
I thought
said
you
that.
were saying okay.
No, okay, sorry. Yeah, I kind of mixed up two different explanations. But yeah, so like on the other hand of that, when someone else is gay, like I do feel like there's an automatic association when people are hanging out together. But like we're just, you know, we're great friends. It's just not like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I can have platonic friends and it be the case. Like, and here's the thing too, I can also think people are really attractive and still be a friend. And I may be attracted to the way that you look and then not see you romantically. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
And I'll tell you that too. Like I'll tell you when you find it, it doesn't mean I'm coming on to you or anything like that. Like if I'm interested, I feel like I make that clear.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah. I feel like
Almost all my friends are cute.
yeah.
Period.
Well, and not only that, but like growing up, most of my friends were guys. I've always like kind of kicked it with guys, like just not even like in a flirtatious way, but like just kind of been one of the guys. You know what I mean? Like I
It's
don't know.
possible, y'all.
But then
It is.
sometimes they take it too far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes, but like
not all the time.
people always challenge me about one of my best friends, Ogden, who I've been friends with him since way back in high school. We've always had a platonic friendship. And people challenge me on that all the time. Like,
That's
oh, y'all
annoying.
must be, there must be. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
Like,
It
doesn't
sometimes
have
it's
to
just
be.
At
genuinely
all.
like, this is my best friend.
And some of the,
Why does it
like,
have to be more
sometimes
than
those
that?
are the best friendships
Yeah.
because it's nice to have the other, you know, gender's opinions on things without feelings getting involved. You know what I mean?
So for me, it's definitely possible.
Yeah, I think so. Now, when you're in a relationship, does that sometimes get weird? Sometimes, but I feel like the person that you're with, one thing I don't like is like if you have a best friend and then you start dating someone, I feel like it's unreasonable for the person you're dating to not want you to be best friends with that person.
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like you can't
It's
tell
like, why
me.
are you so insecure about it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this has been my best friend for 10 years. You only been knowing me for 3 months and you want me to cut him off?
Yeah,
Nah.
that's not fair.
Yeah.
But I feel like that happens a lot.
Luckily, that hasn't happened to me.
Yeah.
But if it were, I would have a problem with that. I'd be like, no, I can't do that for you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Um,
No, ma'am.
How do you overcome? How do you overcome cheating in a relationship?
I don't. I'm gonna tell you right now.
I was about to say.
I don't. Like, honestly, and this is what people are frustrated by when it comes to me. You can do that. I can be upset at the moment. I can definitely forgive you, and I can genuinely be like cordial with you afterwards. And I feel like a lot of people get frustrated by like
That's
me
very
being
mature.
around. Yeah, it may take some time. It depends, but like I know at the end of the day, I'm like whatever. Like you did that. That's on you. That's your bad karma. I can move on to the next. And it ends up hurting other people to see that. Like, not that there is some satisfaction that comes with that, I'm not gonna lie, but like the intention isn't to like, oh, let me just be your friend so you can watch me do whatever. I genuinely would just like, I genuinely would just like let it go.
Yeah.
So I can.
I've played myself too many times, one too many times of trying to overcome, forgive, another chance, this
don't
and
work.
that, and just being disappointed in the end. So I feel like the next time, if that ever happens to me again, bye.
Yeah, same.
The end. There's no talking about it. There's no working through it. You did that. That was your choice. I'm out.
It's just prolonging the mess.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
people are like, well, you can rebuild trust.
No.
That happened to me and I never rebuilt trust.
yeah,
and then
no.
other little stuff that happens in the relationship, I feel like you'll always think like, oh, they're cheating on me again, even if it's something little.
Exactly.
It never healed.
That's
You know
my
what I
reason
mean?
for not allowing it.
And I know people say like, oh, people can change. Like, you should give it a shot, especially if you're married or this or that. But like, honestly, in my literal experience, it's sad to say, but like, I don't think you can really ever get over it. I don't think a lot of times that people even change like they say they're going to change. Like, unfortunately, it kind of becomes a deal breaker, and there's really no recovering from it, in my opinion,
Yeah.
most of the time.
Yeah.
I agree.
No
And that's why you
cheaters.
should never do that in
Yeah.
the first place.
Yeah.
Communicate. Speak when there's an issue, and if it's that bad, you need to break it off. Do that. Because
Yeah.
cheating is the last thing you want to do.
Cause there's what you could do is break it off with someone, communicate, go and do what you want to do with that other person, and then after that, there could be a chance where you might reconnect with that
Right.
first person because you communicated and you didn't break their heart and you
Right.
didn't cheat on them.
That
So y'all
betrayal.
could reconnect later. Versus if you just cheat on them, now your chances
It's a
are
done
just
deal.
Trust is
gone.
gone. You'll never trust
You
that
ain't got
person
no
again.
get out of jail free card, none of that. So
Because I feel like people don't do that because they feel like, well, I didn't want to lose you. Well, now you lost me.
For sure.
You could have not lost me.
yeah. If you communicated and you just paid,
Yeah.
did your thing, came back.
Exactly. Okay, let's look for one last question, maybe. Is there anything that you did as a teenager that your parents still don't know about that you would like to share now?
I'm not doing this one. I'm not.
Plead the fifth?
Yes. Let's do it.
Well, no, because they know about.
What they do? And
I can think of
Oh, yeah.
I don't
got-
know. I mean, I'm grown. I can't get in trouble, right?
reveal one to Chef Tony.
Because my mom is going to be watching this.
There's, we gonna see who watching this by this answer. Someone's gonna contact me about this.
What just fell? You
Oh,
okay,
but
Zaya? Did you just drop this baby? No, the baby was already there. I think she accidentally dropped the barrette.
Okay, we're almost done, boo-boo.
She's like, "Tch."
Do we want to skip this question?
Yeah, let's do a different one. Real, you say you don't ever fart in front of people? I do be tooting sometimes.
Oh, all my friends
Okay.
do. It's like a personal thing. I don't
Remember
care.
the
I
time
don't
when I was
judge.
in your kitchen? Remember the first time I came over your house? When we was laughing in the kitchen?
Oh yeah,
And you
we were
laughed
doing
and made
the,
me too.
We were doing the gold. The what's it called?
What was it?
Those posters.
Oh, vision boards for 2020.
Yeah.
That's a funny one.
This. Mm-hmm. Rel doesn't have kids.
I know. It's just a funny one.
So,
Why did somebody ask that? Go down. Wait, go down.
I don't know. Be good. People think that, like, when I say, oh, I'm allergic to dairy, I can't have dairy, they be like, oh yeah, because you be blowing the bathroom
Like,
up, huh? But really, like, yes, that can happen
Sick.
sometimes, but really, that's not even my side effects. My side effects are like breaking out in
Breaking
hives
out.
and like breaking out. 'Cause I'm allergic, like not lactose intolerant.
Did somebody ask an advice one? I feel like we did.
I was looking for one. I saw one where they just were asking for general advice for high school students.
Oh, hey bees.
So he was like,
You don't want my
them kids.
next. High school will be over soon. That's all you need to know.
Oh, hold on. What do y'all think about this? How do you forgive yourself after allowing things that you shouldn't have?
I wish I knew.
Yeah,
I
don't
wish
even
I
have an
knew.
answer for that.
I honestly don't have an answer for that because I need help.
I feel like with that one, it's like everyone talks about empathy, and I'm like deep in that question right now. You have to be empathetic with yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I have heard the advice of like, you should be talking to yourself the same way you talk to your best friend. If you wouldn't say it to your best friend, don't say it to yourself.
That's good. That's good.
Preach. And he,
And
when we went to,
preacher's kid.
Well, do you have any advice for high school students?
come on, Rev.
Oh, that was a real. Oh, well, yeah. Actually, I do. I want to speak directly to like any kids who may be, figuring their sexuality out, figuring out who they are in that regard. Don't let anybody rush you into that process or figuring that out. It's going to happen on your time. If you're worried about coming out, if that's a big deal too, that's going to happen in your time as well. Just know that things will get better. I had a great support system. I had a family who, is religious, but still accepts me for who I am. And that's a really big blessing. So I can't speak of, what it's like to not have that. But just know that you're going to get through it. Speak out to somebody. If it's a counselor, if it's a school counselor, I'm sure you have a teacher who may, be a part of the community as well. Find somebody, but, never, how do I say that in a clean way? Oh, that's going to get deep. Oh, I'm okay.
I know, I love this advice though. That's sweet.
Say it how you want to say it and bleep it out.
Okay.
Look at the picture.
Don't let the situations that you go through get too intense to where you don't want to live anymore. I definitely don't condone that. Always find someone to talk to and to outsource any of those emotions that you may be feeling. So yeah, you'll get through it. So to my LGBTQ plus community, that's for us.
That's really good advice.
I love
Really
that.
important to know too.
To have that.
Yeah.
What you got? That's it.
I can't top that advice. My advice gonna be, you go next. Oh, actually, I have a good one. This is for putting others before yourself. I feel like I did that in high school. I put my stupid high school boyfriend above everything else that was important. By the time it was time for me to go to college, everything that I was doing and making decisions about was surrounding him. Senior year, he cheated on me. So then I'm like,
Yeah.
And I spent my whole high school focused on him, neglecting other things, skipping practice. So I feel like even if you feel like somebody is your everything, don't take this the hard way, but they're not, because you are your first priority. Your goals should not be determined by somebody else. Your ambitions, what you want to do in life, should not be determined by anybody else. Like, put yourself first in high school. These are your selfish years where you get to discover yourself, learn yourself. Like, yeah. So I would say don't focus in on one person too much and put your relationship above yourself and your goals.
I agree with that, because you just gotta think about how young you are and how much life you have ahead of you.
So much.
Sometimes people do stay with their high school sweetheart. I'm not saying it's not possible, but like, what are the odds?
And even if you do, you should still discover yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't put them above you.
Yeah.
Even if you do stay with them, cool, but just learn yourself. Learn what you like. I feel like I didn't do enough of that in high school.
All right, you guys, we had a great meal. V-Love sauce was amazing. Sadie threw down. We all kind of pitched in on this. We got the family with us here now, so we're going to go ahead and close out the video. Thank you guys for tuning in.
It's the way.
Malachi. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll have all the associated videos and links and everyone's following information down below. Anybody else got
Is
something
that
to
the
say?
skin?
This was bomb. Highly recommend.
Highly
Period.
recommend. A boil with your friends.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.